SEC Chair Gary Gensler is like the Sheriff of Wall Street. He's the current chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. Think of him as Wall Street's top cop. He's been on the job since 2021. And let me tell you, he's been busy. Before the SEC, Gensler taught blockchain at MIT and worked at Goldman Sachs. He knows finance, regulation, and blockchain. But he's a tough regulator, not afraid to go after big players. This makes him controversial, especially in crypto. Some see him as a champion for investors, others think he's stifling innovation. Gensler's crackdown, a flurry of lawsuits and crypto industry pushback. Under Gensler's leadership, the SEC has launched a wave of lawsuits. Coinbase, Binance, Ripple. The SEC is targeting major players. Gensler argues most cryptocurrencies are securities, and if they're securities, they fall under the SEC's jurisdiction. The crypto industry sees things differently. They argue that crypto doesn't fit neatly into the SEC's categories. This clash has led to a flurry of lawsuits. The outcomes could reshape the entire industry. The crypto community cries foul, regulation by enforcement and its discontents. The crypto community isn't exactly throwing Gensler a parade. In fact, they're pretty vocal about their displeasure. They accuse him of regulation by enforcement. What does that even mean? Well, they argue that instead of providing clear guidelines, the SEC is just slapping lawsuits on anyone and everyone. It's like trying to solve a jigsaw puzzle by randomly jamming pieces together and hoping for the best. This lack of clarity is a major point of contention. Crypto companies claim they're eager to comply with regulations, but they need to know what the rules are first. They're essentially driving blindfolded, hoping they don't hit a legal brick wall. The industry wants clear rules. They want a level playing field. They want to be able to innovate without the constant threat of an SEC investigation hanging over their heads. Now let's talk about Donald Trump. The former president and current presidential candidate has made his stance on crypto clear. He's a fan. He even launched his own collection of NFTs. Remember those? More importantly, Trump has promised to fire Gensler if he's elected president again. He sees Gensler's approach as detrimental to American innovation. He believes a more crypto-friendly SEC chair is needed to foster growth in this burgeoning industry. This promise has sent ripples through the crypto world. Some see it as a beacon of hope. They dream of a future where the US embraces crypto rather than trying to regulate it out of existence. But is it all too good to be true? Can a president really just fire the SEC chair? Well, it's complicated. And that brings us to our next point. The SEC is supposed to be an independent agency. This means it's not supposed to be swayed by political winds. The chair serves a fixed term. They can't be easily removed. At least, that's the idea. In reality, things are a bit murkier. While a president can't just fire the SEC chair on a whim, they can exert pressure. They can make life difficult. They can create an environment where it's politically untenable for the chair to remain in office. Remember what happened with James Comey and the FBI? Yeah, it's kind of like that. So could Trump fire Gensler? Legally speaking, it's complicated. Politically speaking, well, stranger things have happened. What would a world without Gensler at the helm of the SEC look like for crypto? It's hard to say for sure, but we can make some educated guesses. A more crypto-friendly chair could mean a more permissive regulatory environment. We might see clearer guidelines, a more collaborative approach, and perhaps even a slowdown in lawsuits. This could be a huge boon for the industry, paving the way for greater innovation and adoption. However, it's important to remember that even with a new sheriff in town, the SEC is still the SEC. They have a mandate to protect investors and ensure market integrity. A more lenient approach doesn't mean anything goes. The future of crypto regulation in the US is uncertain. It's a complex issue with high stakes. One thing's for sure, the next few years will be a wild ride. Buckle up, crypto folks, because things are about to get interesting.